According to Coral Reef Alliance, 25% of all aquatic animals live, feed, and/or spawn in coral reefs. However, coral reefs cover less than 1% of the ocean. There is a vast amount of biodiversity calling coral reefs their home. Reefs are home to different types of fish, corals, sea turtles, lobsters, seahorses, eels, sharks, and millions of other types of marine life. Unfortunately, these reefs are dying due to disease, bleaching, and pollution. As climate change continues, coral reefs are among the large amount of habitats that are being greatly affected. Those who do not live by an ocean or enjoy snorkeling may ask, why should I care? Coral reefs are not only beautiful to look at. They have multiple functions such as providing food, medicine, storm protection, fishing, and tourist attractions to millions of people around the world. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, organisms that live in coral reefs are now being used for medicines for arthritis, human bacterial infections, viruses, and even possible cures to cancer. Millions of people benefit from the economic gain that coral reefs provide. It is shown that coral reefs can provide up to $375 billion per year. This is important for developing countries who depend on tourism and fishing as a big source of income. Tourism creates a lot of jobs for those who need them. Research shows that the reefs in the Florida Keys attract millions of people per year alone. These reefs are also home to many animals that become food sources to millions of people. Coral reefs also serve as a protective wall between ocean waves and properties. They lessen the strength of waves, hurricanes, and other tropical systems before hitting shorelines. This is important to protect the lives and property of the 123 million people that live along the coastline. Because of all these important factors, we should all be concerned about the health of our coral reefs. As seen in this diagram, there are 6 main ways coral reefs are dying due to climate change. First of these is warming ocean temperatures, which leads to coral bleaching. This diagram from 2016 shows that much of the ocean is warmer than average or has even surpassed the record temperature. According to the National Ocean Service, warmer ocean water causes corals to release the algae that they store, resulting in corals to turn white. This process does not kill the coral right away, however, it makes the coral weaker and more susceptible to other threats like starvation. The algae that is released from the coral's tissue is called zooxanthellae. This algae gives coral their color and is most of their food source. According to the NOAA satellite, about 70% of coral reefs are experiencing sufficient temperature changes to cause bleaching. This number is expected to continue to rise as climate change continues to heat up our oceans. Second is sea level rise. Sea level rise is caused by melting ice caps and thermal expansion, which is the expansion of water molecules as water becomes warmer. According to the National Ocean Service, the global sea level rose by 2.6 inches from 1993 to 2014. Every year, sea level is continuing to rise at about 1/8 of an inch. This can be harmful to coral reefs as shorelines erode, causing sedimentation. Sedimentation can suffocate corals and cause them to lose the availability of sunlight for photosynthesis. Third is a change in storm patterns. Because air and water are becoming warmer, hurricanes are able to gain more energy and last longer, causing more damage to coral reefs that act as barriers to shorelines. According to Reef Resilience Network, there is a strong relationship between the destructiveness of storms and warming ocean temperatures. Since 1970, the number of Category 4 and 5 hurricanes have increased by about 75%. Coral reefs need time to recover from hurricanes, but with more intense storms, coral reefs face more destruction and take more time to recover. Hurricanes cause erosion, scarring, and breakage. Larger storms can also cause more flooding, thus resulting in more freshwater runoff and sedimentation onto coral reefs. Fourth, changes in precipitation cause more pollutants and runoffs to end up in the ocean. The World Meteorological Organization says these pollutants cause more algae and murky water, lessening the amount of light that reaches the corals for photosynthesis. More rainfall also causes salinity in ocean waters to decrease, while less rainfall causes ocean salinity to increase. Fifth, as sea level rises, ocean currents change, causing a lack of food and nutrients for coral reefs. The National Ocean Service discusses the importance of tides carrying coral eggs and larvae. Without normal currents, many of these vital elements may not reach the coral reef. Lastly, the acidity of the ocean is rising while the pH levels are dropping. The NOAA states this is a result of fossil fuels being burned and more carbon dioxide in the air from human use. The ocean absorbs about 1/4 of the CO2 released into the air. This makes the water more acidic and toxic to the corals. Along with climate change issues, there is also the problem of unsustainable fishing in coral reefs. For many people and places, fishing is vital for economic reasons. However, there are problems with high demand for fish. The Reef Resilience Network discusses how people are overfishing, fishing with equipment that harms marine life and reefs, or fishing in restricted areas. Overfishing can cause a population decrease, which then disrupts the food chain. Fishing with explosives, also called blast fishing, can completely shatter and kill many corals. Dragging nets along coral reefs to trap fish also hurt the corals and can flatten the juvenile coral. These issues are concerning for the health of coral reefs today and in the future. The ecological and economical benefits talked about earlier are elements that need to be put into consideration by everyone. According to the NOAA, everyone can help our coral reefs whether or not you live on a coastline. Firstly, we can choose to eat sustainable seafood. There's a lot of information on how to do so on seafoodwatch.org. This website will lead you to their app and other educational sources. Secondly, we can use less water to avoid runoff into the ocean. You can do so by taking shorter showers, turning off the faucet while brushing your teeth, fixing leaks, and installing rain barrels. Third, use less chemicals on your lawn and plants. This will decrease the amount of toxic chemical runoff into the ocean. Fourth, drive less to decrease the amount of CO2 being released into the air. Carpooling, taking the bus, or biking are all sufficient choices. Lastly, educate yourself and others on the subject. If people do not know about the risk to our coral reefs, they will not change their harmful habits. 27% of coral reefs have been destroyed. If overfishing, warmer ocean water, acidification, high amounts of burning fossil fuels, and every other destructive element discussed earlier continues to occur, over the course of the next 30 years, 60% of our beautiful coral reefs will be destroyed, taking its wonderful biodiversity with it.